If I were to start a photography business again from scratch, this is exactly what I would do. I've been a professional photographer for over a decade, mostly specializing in children portraiture or family portraits. And I failed a lot, especially in the pricing area. I burnt out a lot, and this is what I would do to prevent all of that. Number one, starting off with some controversy, I actually don't think it's a bad idea to offer free or heavily discounted sessions, but only for a very short amount of time. You need to be able to use these to figure out how you need to price yourself, and I'm going to get into that in detail in just a second. But I would suggest to use friends and family, people that you're really comfortable with, and not strangers, especially if you're trying to figure out what you want to specialize in. So if your sister Sarah just found out that she's pregnant, do her maternity pictures, see if you enjoy that. If your brother has a family of his own, do family pictures. Get their toddlers running around and screaming. If you know, if you know that somebody's getting married, I don't really recommend that you just go full throttle and photograph an entire wedding by yourself. But a lot of photographers do need what are called second shooters. Offer up your services, maybe offer it for free, or to, just to kind of be in their shadow. And what you get in turn is a lot of knowledge from them and experience, and they get obviously extra pictures and assistance from you. I can give you more tips on that in another video if you need it. So when you're doing these free shoots, okay, I want you to calculate your time. How long does it take for you to find a place for your session? How long does it take for you to do the session? And then this is super important. You need to time yourself on how long it takes for you to upload your pictures to your laptop and cull the images. If you don't know what culling means, it means going through all of the pictures and narrowing them down to the best ones that you want to actually edit and give to the client. And culling takes a long time, especially if you're like me and you're super snap happy. My shutter is just constantly going. Continue to time yourself editing the pictures. Now, I know I said in a previous video that a photographer should not charge hourly, and in a sense, no, but you still need to know how long it does take you to do something, because at the end of the day, time is money. But above how much time it takes you, your expertise needs to be a factor in your pricing as well. All of that is in other videos that I did just before this one. You also want to factor in things like how long does it take to get the pictures up on the gallery, to consult back and forth with whoever you're photographing, and to send the gallery to the client. You have all of that time, set that aside. Now we need to calculate some more things. So what we're really going to dive into now is your CODBs, your cost of doing business. If you eventually do prints and stuff, that's called your COGS, your cost of goods. But you need to start writing down, how much did your camera cost, your lens, your camera bag? How much does your website cost per year, your gallery hosting site? If you have photographer's insurance, which you should, how much does that cost? You have to keep in mind that over time, you're gonna have to replace equipment. You're gonna have to get maintenance done on your camera and lenses. You have to buy externals. Those could be a couple $100 because you have to be able to store pictures somewhere, because it's probably not gonna all fit on your computer. You also want to give yourself just a little bit of insurance, basically, in case anything breaks. So calculate all of that, give yourself just an average set price. Now ask yourself, how much money do I want to make per month? What am I hoping to bring in for myself? Is it $500 a month? Is it $3,000 a month? Is it $10,000 a month? What do I want to bring in for myself? If you're calculating that monthly, figure out the yearly price, obviously times that by 12. Now you're going to add whatever value you got earlier when you calculated your equipment costs and whatnot, add that on top of the yearly money that you want to be making. You also want to think about taxes and some kind of emergency fund for yourself if that's important to you, that you want to stack onto that number. This is already really long, so I'm not going to get super into that. Now ask yourself, how many hours per week do I want to work? Do I want to work 10 hours a week on my business? Do I want to work 40 hours a week? So you've got the numbers that you had from earlier of how long does it take for me to do this session, how long for me to edit the pictures, and all of those things. One small little detail we still want to add is how long does it take for me to market my business? Because obviously we all know in this day and age, we have to market on social media, whether it's having a presence on social media or running ads or even doing things like networking groups in your town that you live in. But at the end of the day, all of this takes time. So you want to calculate, how long does it take for me to make an Instagram reel or a TikTok? If you do email marketing, how long does it take for me to do that every week? So take all of those hours, how long it takes to do all of these things, and ask yourself, how long do I want to work per week? And if you do the math right, that's going to give you how many sessions you can take on per month. And you really want to figure this out, because if not, if you're just taking in as many sessions as you want, especially if you're not priced at the price that you need to be priced at, you're gonna burn out and you're gonna lose your passion for what you're wanting to do. So now we have how many hours we want to work per week, which means how many sessions we can take on without burning out, and we have the amount of money that we want to make by the end of the year. You're going to divide all of that, and that's going to help you figure out how much to charge per session. Creating packages and stuff, that's a whole other beast, but there's a lot of psychology behind that to help you be successful. But this will at least give you kind of a foundation to build on. So you've got your free sessions with the people that you know and love, and now you've got your numbers of what you need to charge for a session. If you feel like you still need a longer, like a stronger portfolio or more experience, and you want to do discounted sessions, well, now you can say, hey, my prices, like publicly, my prices are X, Y, and Z. They're discounted by 30% just for the month of May or whatever. What this does is it shows people your actual value. This is what I'm valued, but this is what you're getting just for a limited time as I build my portfolio. So then if people see you hike up your prices down the road, they're not gonna have sticker shock, and they're gonna value you from day one. And you're gonna value yourself. And in the long run, this, I promise you, is gonna help you avoid burnout.